Returning to Super Mario Maker, let's turn our attention to a different track from a different style. This time taking a look at Super Mario Bros. 3 and what it has to offer. Something you may not know is I enjoy reggae music, and well, Super Mario Bros. 3 has tracks inspired by that type, so it is only fitting I pick Overworld build theme. It's relaxing, has a cool MIDI brass and a fun little bass line. Let's fly back some years now and look at a sequel. Anyone remember Chuck Rock 2 Son of Chuck? While I haven't played that far into the game, one thing I do remember is the first level music, and I'm picking the version from the Amiga because of how slappy the bass sounds. Still, most versions of Stone Age Suburbs are excellent. Maybe treat yourself and listen to all of them. Heading back to Castlevania and returning to Belmont's Revenge for a second dip. It would be a crime if I didn't mention how great NEHMESSIAH is. Again, chiptune at its height for the Game Boy game, as well as just as a hard-hitting track. There's a reason Castlevania is known for its music on consoles, but this does a good job fighting for the handhelds too. I think it's time to break things down and get chill. Wario Land, the Shake Dimension, has to be one of the most underrated platformers of all time. Not only does it play well, but the soundtrack has all kinds of music and 99% of it is awesome stuff. But there is one track that hit me hard the first time I played the game. That's It's All Mine. It's a chill track with a ripping guitar and organ, so what's not to love? It's time to get cozy as we get through a few Donkey Kong Country tracks now. If you don't know, and by now you should, DIDDVS is my favourite video game composer, so it's not going to come as a shock to find something like Hothead Bop on this list. It quite literally bops along and works amazingly well for a cavern theme. If you like chugging bass lines, then this is for you. Good use of sound effects too to really pad out the theme of this track. I think it's time to bring out a big gun. And what a way to do it with possibly one of the most beautiful pieces in Seashore War. This track has all the emotions. Joy, sadness, hope, despair. It's glorious. And quite frankly, this track alone shows why DIDDVS is just so good. If you can listen to this track and say, I didn't like that, then you have no taste. Staying with Tropical Freeze, let's take a look at a type of level DIDDVS wrote the book on. Underwater levels. If you've never heard any of these pieces by him, then you're letting yourself down. With a slightly more upbeat tone, Funky Waters not only suits underwater levels perfectly, it makes you love them even when you're having a hard time. That's the sign of a masterpiece. It's relaxing and catchy, and I am forever humming this. Okay, let's take a listen to something other than Donkey Kong, shall we? How about a little game called Cannon Fodder? Yeah, this is going back to those Amiga days again, but with a game that had a little controversy around it. Still, what makes this game even better was the intro theme. Like I said before, I like reggae, and this works so well. If you've never heard it, you're in for a treat. War has never been so much fun. Chuck Rock 2 was good, but Chuck Rock, well, this probably has the best intro theme I've ever heard. In fact, right now I can't think of many games that can top this. As with most older games, there are different versions to pick from, but I'm going to choose the SNES version, but I highly recommend you listen to the others too. It's time to rock to the Chuck Rock theme. Now for a game series that maybe isn't that great, but I love. The Army Men series. So many games used to get made now, but we get nothing, and that's a shame because the music in these games tends to be great. But growing up I had Army Men's SARGES Heroes on Dreamcast, and this was the best version of the game, having played the others as well. And like most of these games on this list, one track stood out to me more than anything else. Is it another war game with a reggae track? Yes. Does it also get used on a multiplayer level? Yes. Am I super nostalgic for it? Hell yes. Enjoy the amazing sounds of Island.